Hello, humans. Master Dinnerflex here, bringing you the low quality content you deserve. And today, I'm doing it. I'm actually doing it. I know a lot of people were requesting. It's Chaos Blade. Yay! So, this deck, Chaos Blade, and Dark Warrior, any warrior deck in general, has been hit so hard. It's been hit so hard to the point where there is no incentive for going first. Like there isn't. What do you do? Like, ooh, I put up a Tri-Gate Griffin instead of Floodgate. Like, Guard Dragons do that way better with way less resources, and they play through disruptions better than Modern Warriors. Like, the issue with the Warrior decks now is their end goal isn't worth the deck you're playing. And I might have to explain this, but the Warrior decks of 2018, if I noticed this whenever I would cite them, their deck, like the quality of cards in their main deck are so terrible. And they're so terrible because of the fact that the only thing they do is try to get into the extra deck. But when you take away anything good you can do from the extra deck, what happens is the deck is just terrible. Like, they can go +5 before they start their combo, but all their pluses literally do nothing. The monster you search with Isolde can't be used that turn, and they're searching Junk Forward, which is a card you can't even use and has no form of pressure. You can't, like, do anything. Like, there's nothing impressive you can do. The best Dark Warrior boards I've seen played just as many Garnets as Rongo and made, like, a really pitiful board. Like, it was like 2 to 3 disruptions max, and, like, it had no room to get hand trapped. Like, the extenders didn't matter if you just hit, like even Isolde, like, the extenders, like, you can't even have enough extenders to keep that. So what I'm saying is, Warriors now have to rethink how they play, because you can't just throw a bunch of Junk Forwards, a bunch of red layers in a deck, and then try to get to Rongo, try to get to Gunblower, because now those cards don't exist, and the only options you do have are not good enough to make your deck shit and unplayable without them. Like, how do I think I'm trying to get the point across, but Warriors need to improve the quality of their main deck now, because their extra deck just isn't what it used to be. So that's what I decided to do. And I also decided that there's never going to be a board I make that is good enough to go first. So what I decided to do instead is I would focus all on, like, this deep draw combo going second OTK deck. And that's what I've turned Chaos Blade into, because there's no board it can make anymore that's good. Just the quality of cards, just how much you need to make your main deck worse to, like, have almost no improvement in the extra deck. It's just shit. Like, it's not reliable anymore. So I'm just going to go ahead and get straight into it with double BLS. It's to the point now where you don't even want to search this with Isolde. You actually just want to draw with all your draw cards. Just draw one or both of them because you got a lot of draw power, and then you just swing for so much damage. And then Scared Soldier. This card is terrible. However, it has a lot of synergy with the cards in the main deck. And because it's a going second deck, his effect is supposed to be live the turn you start playing. Which his effect is you can return any light or dark from your banished into the graveyard, then banish any card your opponent controls. Which is, like, that's a decent effect, but, like, he can't special summon himself, so you have to either tribute summon him or summon him with a card effect, but you actually have a lot of mill power. You have Phoenix Blade to banish it, and you have a bunch of DDRs and DDMs, so you can actually just summon this with some random effects, and it actually just works really well. And he also has another effect, too, where if he destroys anything by battle, you can grab back any warrior in the deck except BLS. That's a light or dark, I should say. Triple Diamond Dude because there's a lot of normal spells in here and it triggers all your draw power. Best normal summon. Raiden, like, who cares if you're milling? There's not even that many mill targets. Double Malicious, you need it. Shadow Mist, just to act as a floater for milling. One Stratos, just because you do need some good just summons that get you card advantage. You can, like I said, like the Warriors now, like they can go really plus, but none of their pluses mean anything. Like when you were looking at the Goki deck, their hand never mattered once it got to a certain point because all the cards in their hand like did nothing. They were worthless. So I tried to add a little higher card quality to the deck, which is why like Diamond Dude's in here. Yeah, they're a little slower. It's not like you're spamming junk forwards all the time, but like you get to make enough to just win the duel and not focus on turn one, which you don't have a turn one anymore. So just recurring card economy, keeping yourself in the game until you just push that OTK through is important. Triple Raiden. It's actually, the mill doesn't even matter. It's all about it being a tuner. That's basically it. Like, there's nothing else you use it for. And Jane is worse, but the only reason it's in here is because it's a Light Sworn for Solar Recharge and a Dark for Allure Darkness. It has no other utility. I never summon this. There's no point. It's literally just a Garnet for like 6 draw spells that you can search if you like have Allure but not Solar Recharge. And then 2 DDM. It's pretty easy to summon this, especially if you mill it and just revive it with like Reborn. A lot of the deck just banishes itself. This deck like burns Phoenix Blade 101 times. It's pretty ridiculous. And Phoenix Blade is also the spell you discard for it. It's pretty good. I don't like it sometimes because it is just a worse DDR in that aspect, but it also has attack points, so OTK. 1 Greffer and 1 Armageddonite. They're like the play starters. They're all at 1, so you can only play 1 of each. And then Grappler Angler, because I needed a level 1 warrior that actually did something. Attack Gainer does nothing. Because I don't plan on making level 5 synchros and I don't want to put worthless earth monsters in my deck for no reason just to try to make Naturi Beast. That's inconsistent. And this is like one of the only level 1 warriors that actually does anything. Most of the time, you just link it off, but it is there for like its utility, like sometimes. Most of the time it's not, but you can use it. Triple Allure, triple Charge, triple Recharge, triple Destiny Draw, triple DDR, and 1 Phoenix Blade. Just spells all over the place. It almost feels like Diamond Dude Turbo without caring about Diamond Dude that much. Foolish Burial, Reborn, double Pot of Acquisitiveness. So Pot of Acquisitiveness, it's like so it is just a watered down Pot of Avarice in this deck. You banish like your entire graveyard really quickly with all your Chaos monsters with Phoenix Blade. Just like you can get a lot of banishing going, and yeah, just draw 1, reset your engines, keep going, very good. And then Rhoda, because all the monsters in your deck except 2 are warriors. And for the side deck, I don't really have one. I'll just say that Envoy, the Evening Twilight, is one I'm considering for going first. So the whole point of this deck, it is meant to go second, but if you are forced to go first, the only thing you're trying to do is activate as many of these as possible to try to get to enough monsters to make a really basic board. However, sometimes what I end up doing is summoning 2 BLS, and then just like making a rank 8 with it. And I was like, I don't really like that much. So what I thought of instead is, if I'm ever in that situation, what I can do is side in 3 of these, and this card is in theory terrible and in practice terrible, but what he does is he's a chaos monster that you have to banish all of one type of attribute. You're going for dark with this effect, and what you're doing is you're banishing all your darks when you have an equal number of light and darks in your grave, which is not tricky with Phoenix Blade, but it is pretty trash that it has that requirement. And then you banish a card from their hand until their next end phase, So what you do is once you're summoning 2 of these, which you can do, this puts a lot of cards in the graveyard. You banish 2 cards from their hand, then you make the rank 8. So they have less resources to deal with your crappy board, and that's usually enough. Boards nowadays, they don't need to actually be that crazy to beat anyone. Like the Guard Dragon boards are crazy, but you don't need that kind of board to beat anything. It just makes the game unplayable. But you can keep the game playable while you still keeping a board, as long as you just have like enough disruptions. Like 2 to 3, usually 3 is the magic number, because after that point, even if they do break it, they don't have anything to do. So yeah, just like if you deal with 3, if you 3 for 3 their cards with your board, which the hand loop does 2 of that, it usually is enough. If it isn't, and they still can play, that's unfortunate. But most of the time, you just need like 3 for 3 card economy when you're just like hitting with a board. 2 is old. 1 summon Sork, Mermaid, Phoenix, Unicorn, Cerberus, Griffin to recycle Acquisitiveness, and Borreload because you don't need Boral Sword because your deck has 2 of them. And Power Tool to actually use the Grappler for something. Synchro Dragon to actually use it for something. Savage Dragon, it's better than Omega, but Omega has some utilities. Nightmare, and then number 38. So yep, that's about it. Thank you all for watching. If you want any replays of this deck in action, let me know. I still need to work with it a bit. I even like was about to just give up on Chaos Blade. I wanted to play it after the hit because like they didn't ban Phoenix Blade, so I can still do some like DDR shenanigans. But like you can't build a board with Warriors anymore. Like the boards you build with Warriors are so shit. Like they're just terrible. Like it's Trigate, Fog Blade, and that's about it. Like it's not good. So yep, that's about it. Thank you all for watching, and remember, Master Dinnerflax will take your soul.